Adams. My name is Caitlin Acevedo. I'm a sixth grade student from Elkhorn, and I'm doing a passion project, soccer. I'm happy to interview you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well, and I'm excited to be a part of your project.
The first question is, what do you do to help coach UOP?
I'm the head coach here, one of the head coaches, so we do a lot of just drills and working on different things in terms of the soccer aspect, but on an everyday basis, I'm making sure our students are doing everything academically, doing well on the soccer field. All these students are away from home for the most part, so a little bit like second mom, trying to make sure they're getting through everything and on the daily basis things.
How long have you been the co-head coach of UOP?
I've been here for 3 years almost. I've been an assistant for 1 season, and then I was a co-head coach for 2 seasons. So this is my second season as a co-head coach here.
Did something or someone inspire you to coach this team?
No, it was an opportunity for me. It was a job that was open. I was at the University of Houston before I came here, and this is a really good conference. It's a really good university. So for me to come here and be able to help this program, because it hadn't been really good in the past, so to be able to come in and help turn a program around and build a new culture has been really exciting.
Do you have any goals that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, we're looking. Today obviously is our last game. Unfortunately, it's sad, but at the end of the day, we're trying to build a really, really good powerhouse here at UOP. In the past, like I mentioned, it hasn't been great, so we're just really trying to continue to build this program and hopefully in the near future be able to win the WCC.
When did you first play soccer?
I was 5 years old. So I have an older brother who played, and so I used to be the little girl running around the field with him. And so when I got older, I told myself, Mom, I really want to play. And she said, okay, well, we have to wait till you're 5 because you can't play until you're 5. So my first time on a real team organized, I was 5 years old.
Did you ever become a professional soccer player?
I did. I was a professional for 9 years. So I played in what's now called the NWSL, which is the National Women's Soccer League. I played in that for 3 years, and then prior to that, there was what was called the WPS, and I played in that for 3 years as well, and then I played overseas for 3 years as well.
I did hear a little bit about you being a professional from an article. So, how did you become that?
So I went to UCLA. That's where I played from 5 years old all the way up until I actually retired when I was 30. But I went to UCLA, and so like UOP, it's another university in Southern California. I played there for 4 years, did some really good things, and so I got an opportunity to be drafted. So we had the 2008 draft, so in the 2009 season, I was drafted to the Chicago Red Stars. So I played there for a year, and then I was traveled and played to other places after that. But hard work and dedication that allowed me to be able to go and get an opportunity to play. And so I went to Chicago and loved it. And then I continued my career elsewhere and had a good 9-year pro career.
Wow.
Are there any tips that you think people should use to be better at soccer?
Yeah, I think working hard. I think getting out and dribbling the ball, juggling the ball. I think everyone, when you're young, everyone wants to just kick the ball as hard as you can off the wall, but just try to work on some skills. I think every now and try and juggle and being able to, because if you can juggle the ball, you're going to be really technical and you're going to be comfortable with the ball in the game. So I really encourage young players to juggle at a really young age and start to get comfortable with getting 4, 5, 6 and see how high you can get. Because I think it's really important as you get older, it helps you with your foot skills.
Is there any specific college? Actually, yours is that. What are different things that you had to learn to be what you are?
Wow, that's a good question. I went through a lot of different ups and downs, just like everyone does, right? Really good moments of being a starter, playing in games and doing those things. And then there's moments where I wasn't the best player and I had to work really, really hard. And so I think for me, I've learned a lot of determination as a player because everything doesn't go right? Even in my journey to being a coach. I played a 9-year professional career, so I said, there's no way. It'd be easy for me to find a job coaching soccer. Well, it was really difficult. It took me almost 6 months to be able to find a position that suited what I was looking to do, right? And to be able to now help the younger generation as they go through the process that I went through, right? So it wasn't as easy as I thought it was gonna be. I was like, I left pro, it's no problem. It was pretty difficult. So to then now take all the perseverance and the failures that I had as a player and to say, okay, hey, listen, everything's not gonna go super smooth. There are gonna be bumps in the road. And so for me, there was that little time where there were some bumps. And I just kind of fought through it and continued to find ways to get a hold of other coaches and say, hey, listen, I'm available, right? I played at the highest level. And so I got my first job at Villanova, which was fantastic, and it was a learning experience for me, in a sense of I had been playing, right? So now going into coaching and going into trying to help recruit players to my university, right? So all of the things that I learned as a player, like I said, the hard work, the determination, just to build, also having confidence in myself as a player, because I think as a coach, you have to have confidence as well, because if you don't have confidence, then your players don't have confidence, right? But if I'm confident in my players, then they believe as well, right? So I think the confidence comes from the people that are kind of running the program, whether it's the coach, whether it's your teacher, whoever it is, right? You need to learn the confidence from them. If they're confident, that means they gotta believe in you and what you're trying to do. So I learned a lot on the way, but I think for me, it was a journey that was meant to be. This is what I kind of wanted to do. The game was so good to me as a player that I wanted to be able to give back to those that came after me, right? And the generations. I mean, when I was in the NWSL, it wasn't where it is now. I was making very low minimum salary, not making money, and now these girls are making a lot of money, and we had someone break 6 figures finally in the NWSL. So for me, what I did to be a pioneer for what's happening now has been really, really exciting, and was grateful for the opportunities that I had.
The next question is, how do you make a plan for what you're going to teach your players?
Okay, so every day after training, we assess what happened in training. So we'll make a plan, and it's usually different drills. We start with warm-up, and then it's something technical, and then we're trying to gear for whoever we're playing for the week. So say, for example, we play on a Saturday, we're off on Monday, so we'll train Tuesday. It's a little bit more getting your feet wet, getting back into training after having a day off, right? And then on Wednesday is a little bit harder. So then we kind of now we're tapering towards the team that we're gonna play, right? So I have to make a plan on Tuesday for what Wednesday looks like. But in Wednesday's training, we want to make sure that we're planning and preparing for our game on the Saturday. So after every training, we assess how did that go? Was it good? Do we need to tweak something for tomorrow? Is there something that we missed? Or did the drill not go as planned? Can we do it again tomorrow to make it better? So we just kind of sit and evaluate every single training session, and then we plan for the next day. So like I said, on Tuesday, I plan for Wednesday. On Wednesday, after we reassess, then we plan for Thursday. On Thursday, after we assess, then we plan for Friday. Fridays are generally the same every single week if we have a game on Saturday. They're very just more fun and lively. We want the players to just have a positive attitude and just enjoy themselves, because the next day it's game day, right? Which is the most exciting. You trained all week and now you want to play in the game, right? So every day it's different, but for the most part we plan the day before, and we just break down the different attributes of the game. Is it the technical aspect? Is it the tactical aspect? The team that we're playing, are they doing something different than what we're normally used to seeing? So then we watch video and make sure we're preparing ourselves for each day, every single day before the game.
That's a great answer.
Thank you.
Do you like to coach this team?
I do, I enjoy it. It's a different group, a lot of different personalities, a lot of different diversity. We have players from Finland, we have a player from New Zealand, we have a player coming in here shortly from Australia. So I get to learn different cultures and different people, and everyone's from somewhere different. I have a young lady from Wisconsin, right? I've never been to Wisconsin. So to hear her talk, her accent, right? So I really enjoy the group that we have because it's different, and everyone's different. Everyone has their own story. So for me, I'm learning every single day from all of my athletes, as well as I'm learning from me, but for the best part of my job is to learn from them and to get to know them as players, but also as people. I think sometimes people forget that when you're coaching, it's not just about the X's and the O's, it's also about understanding each player as a person and how do they strive and what are their goals and why they're at this university. So I think for me, every day to figure that out for my players and to learn new things every single day, it just challenges me and it makes me a better person. So I enjoy it. This is a fun group. I'm gonna miss this group. It's like I said, today's our last game. So it's gonna be a sad moment, but it's also gonna be a positive moment because they've left their legacy on this program. And what we're trying to build, they've helped us do that. And so it's been really exciting.
Why do you love in what you do?
Because as I mentioned earlier, I played the sport my whole life. So for 25 years of my life, I tied my right shoe in my left shoe every day and went out and played soccer. So for me to be able to, like I said, give back, it's easy. This game gave me a degree from UCLA, which most people would love to have, and I did it for free, right? I mean, I was in a position where I'm not sure college would have happened for me or my family if I didn't get a scholarship, right? And to be able to go to UCLA, it was fantastic, and I got a degree from one of the best universities in California. Being able to play the sport that I love, right? So for me, I grew a passion for it as a young player, and as I've gotten older, it's just getting more and more burning in my heart every day. I love it. It's been really good to me. So to be able to just love this game and be able to share these moments with someone like yourself, to be able to do this interview, just the different things that this has afforded me has been fantastic.
How does your team of strikers work together?
Oh, that's another good question. Well, I mean, we spend a lot of time together. So I was a striker myself as well. So what we do with them is I spend moments with them by themselves to continue to get them reps on shooting and get them confident in front of the goal. I think at the end of the day, soccer is about putting the ball in the back of the net, right, and scoring goals. That's how you win games. But also, if you can keep the ball out of the net, you're probably going to win some games as well. But for us, it's just a matter of spending a lot of time together, right? You have one player who wants to do learning each other's strengths. Are you good at running into space? Do you want the ball at your feet? Do you want to combine? Do you want to dribble, right? So I have to learn that about every single one of my strikers at the beginning of the year. Because if I'm doing my job right, every year, the striker is evolving in something different, right? So maybe this year you might have been super athletic, but not the most technical. Well, then I want you over the summer to work on that technical piece. So now you can be the most athletic and technical. Okay, maybe tactically we're not the best. That next summer, you're working on the tactics. So now after 2 summers, you've become a complete player by that senior year. And that's the goal, right? Every day is to continue to make the people around me and the ladies that I work with better every single day. And so my striker group, over the last couple of years, we've scored a lot of goals, which has been fun. Because that's what I did for fun in college, and I enjoyed it. So to be able to share that passion and watch them be excited every single day when they score goals, it's fantastic.
To teach defenders to pass to each other when they move the ball, or just to give it to the strikers?
I think for us, we play a little bit of both. We play how do you find one another. I think it depends on what your game plan is, and it depends on the opponent that you're playing. For us and what we do here, everything is passing. And you don't have to go straight to the striker. The defender can play to the midfielders, and the midfielders can get to the strikers, right? So we try to break all 3 different lines. Even the goalkeeper is involved for us. Our goalkeeper can pass it to our defenders. Defenders can maybe find a striker right away, or they can find a midfielder. So either way, I think it's effective both ways. I think your team has strengths, your team has weaknesses. And our strength is to pass. Our weakness, if I'm being honest, is to play a bigger ball and having our strikers just run. That's not their strength. They want the ball at their feet, they want to play, they want to pass and combine around the other team. So there's no wrong or right, but the way I like to coach it is passing, possession style, and playing, including all 3 lines of your team. So your defenders, your midfielders, and your forwards.
Is being a coach and soccer player your dream?
You know, when I was younger, it wasn't. I wanted to be in pharmaceutical and be a pharmacist. But as I got older and I started to play and was a professional, I just felt that there's so many things that I can help the young generation in. And watching now some of these young players that I coach going to Stanford and going to Big Ten universities that I coached as young, maybe even your age, 6th grade. Yeah, they were probably 6th graders, 5th, maybe 6th graders when I had them, and then they're going to Big Ten universities for academics, but also for athletics and being able to play soccer. So wasn't my dream as a kid? No. But as I got older and I started to get more and more involved, I think it needed more females. It needed more females of color as well. I think that was a really big piece because there's not a lot of us. Every single day when I played, there wasn't a lot of us, right? I looked around the fields. I was generally the only one on my team, the only one around. So now for me to be able to inspire our young females, it's inspiring to me every single day.
What position do you think plays a vital role?
I mean, I think all positions play a vital role because if you don't have the goalkeeper, then right, the ball goes in the goal very easily. But if you don't have your defenders to stop the other strikers, then maybe you're in trouble as well, right? And if you don't have strikers and you don't score goals, so I think they're all pretty vital, but they're all vital in their own way. They all have different value, and I think it just depends on how your team plays. Like I mentioned earlier, some teams play possession, which is what we do. So everyone's vital because everyone's involved, right? If a team plays a little bit more direct and they just go defenders to strikers, well then those teams are relying heavily on their strikers to score a lot of goals and to be dangerous, right? So I don't think there's a right or a wrong. I don't think that there's one specific role, but I will say if you have a very solid goalkeeper, you're generally going to be pretty successful and have a good team and have a good season.
When I went to the game when your team went against St. Mary's, the score was 0-0. Is that normal?
Well, so now they've changed the rules. We used to have overtime. So when you go 0-0, it's called a tie, right? And it used to be when you tied, you had 2 10-minute overtimes. They changed that. They took it out because they wanted to make sure the players were being safe and not playing over 90 minutes. So now that is normal to have ties. As a competitor myself, I don't love it. I would love to have a winner and I want to claim a winner, but for the players' safety, they're saying they would like us to not have overtime right now. But when you get into like the tournament time or when you're winning a national championship, when you get to that level, then now you're going to have overtime. But during the regular season, they're trying to protect the players and allow them to have longevity in the season, so they're no longer having overtime. So every game that ends 0-0 or 1-1, it'll just stay like that.
Are the strikers more aggressive than other players in the positions of your team?
Yeah, I mean, I do have some pretty strong strikers and some pretty feisty ones, and they love to tackle. And but I would say I think our defenders are a little bit more feisty, right? Because they're the last line of defense before it gets to the goalkeeper. So you got to be a little bit strong and tough and be willing to tackle and sacrifice your body, and in case someone's taking a shot, you want to block it. So I would say most defenders are usually the most like strongest and grittiest and feisty ones out on the field. But if you have a good feisty striker, that's always going to be a positive, right? Because they're going to work hard and they're going to try to get through tackles and try to find ways to put the ball in the back of the net.
What is the whole purpose of having strikers?
To score goals. And if they don't score goals, then we don't win games, right? So at the end of the day, you talked about the 0-0 and the 1-1 and the ties. And if you don't have quality strikers, you generally don't score goals, right? That was kind of one of our biggest things last year. We were still trying to develop our roles as strikers and get better. And this year we've been a little bit better at it. But I think at the same time, without them, you don't win games. It's very difficult to win games without someone scoring goals. And generally that's your striker's job, is to score goals.
Do you think that soccer is a fun and competitive type of sport? I
do. I think it's very fun. I enjoy it a lot. And it's definitely competitive. And especially, I think it brings the best out of players that are super competitive, because it's an environment that it's not just you. So you have teammates around you that can help you, that can lift you when things aren't great. But I also think it's when you do win with your group and everything is going well, that feeling at the end of the game when you win, it's, you accomplished something and you competed and you got the victory at the end of the day. So yeah, I mean, I think soccer is amazingly fun and it's fantastic.
Is there anything else you would like to share?
I think those are some good questions, and I really appreciate your time and your thoroughness and your questions. I think I have a question for you. Do you enjoy soccer? Do you play it at all?
I play soccer. I'm a striker,
Okay.
and I love playing it because it gives me time to learn about other players and to know how good I can be.
Okay, good. No, I'm glad that you're doing this. I'm glad you're being able to find out some information, because I think it's really important. But I think continue doing it. It's fun, it's enjoyable, and maybe one day you can be sitting on this side of the chair, right?
Thank you for your time.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It was nice to meet you.
You as well.